Oh, okay. Okay, now I might have slightly been a little victim or something like that, because I remember I went to the bathroom and it was like a fast food connected to a gas station kind of thing, right? Where truckers and all that would come along. It was like near the highway, right? Give for like 3 minutes. There's some guy that walks in the bathroom, right? And there's stalls, so it's like stalls, and this man was looking through the crack right at me. I dead made eye contact with him. I dead looked at him in his eye, and he just stared at me, stared for like a solid 30 seconds. Walked, came back. I'm like, gang, you're weird, leave me alone. Alright, look, we got annoying customers. And me personally, I've worked in fast food, I worked at the mall. Let me just say, fast food, annoying customers. I'm gonna be it's usually when it's like people just being picky, being so picky about it. Because I remember this one time, there was this guy, and he's like, can I get my food fresh? I'm like, yeah, no problem, because if they want it fresh, they get it fresh. And, we make it fresh for him. He takes a bite. He's like, it's not hot enough. I'm like, gang, it's fresh. There's nothing we can do about it. He's like, make me another one. We're like, I bet. So we make him another one. And believe it or not, he's like, it's still not good enough. I'm like, do you want us to put it in the microwave? Like, you literally saw us make it fresh. He's like, yeah, just do that too. Bro wanted it burning his mouth. Like, what? Like, gang, come on. I'm just trying to do my thing. I was like 16 at the time. I'm like, gang, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And let's see. I remember this guy that got mad because it costed like 10 cents more for some cheese or some bacon or something like that. And he was getting upset. He was getting tired. He was genuinely upset. He's like, why should I pay 10 cents for cheese or something like that? And I'm like, gang, it's just 10 cents. Like, because it don't come with it. Like what you expect? And, oh, bro, there's just some things that happen. And I guess that place overall was just something different, because I remember there's so much crazy stuff happening. People getting arrested. Someone found a crack needle or something like that, or a needle in the bathroom, in the women's bathroom. There was so much I don't remember all of it. I just remember hearing so much stuff. Okay, now I might have slightly been a little victim or something like that, because I remember I went to the bathroom, and it was like a fast food connected to a gas station kind of thing, right? Where truckers and all that would come along. It was like near the highway, right? And so I'm going to take a dump, right? Put the paper over the toilet seat, don't want to get contaminated, nothing like that, doing my business. And I'm just there doing skip for like 3 minutes. There's some guy that walks in the bathroom, right? And there's stalls, so it's like stalls, and this man was looking through the crack right at me. I dead made eye contact with him. I dead looked at him in his eye, and he just stared at me, stared for like a solid 30 seconds. Walked, came back. I'm like, gang, you're weird, leave me alone. Like I'm just trying to mind my business. And it was some old guy. I'm not gonna lie, it was some old guy, and I just remember, like, I was genuinely like, yo, you're acting a little crazy right now. I'm not gonna lie. But he left. I finished up. Never saw it. Never happened to me again. But apparently he was like a regular kind of person. He would show up. And it would happen to other people that were there. Like, he just stared at them, or some weird like that. Like, Like, how is he not arrested? How is he free roaming the streets, bro? Oh my, Diddy disciple at his best. At his worst, honestly. That's the right way to say it. Diddy disciple at his worst. Doing it. Oh my. Yo, I can keep going. There was another time. There was another older fella. And I only heard about it because it happened several times too. I believe it might have been a different guy. It could have been the same. I don't know. But, so there was urinals, okay? And apparently he was beating his meat at the urinal or something like that. I just heard about it because people kept reporting it and saying stuff about it. And it was happening on multiple occasions. I remember happening around a solid 10 times. Bro was at the urinal for 20 minutes-ish. Going crazy. Like, at a urinal, like, gang, what are you doing at the urinal? Like, you're tweaking. You're genuinely tweaking. Like, oh, bro, I don't know. Some people just be out of it. Some people be geeked out their mind or something. Like, what in your right mind makes you think that's good? So, yo, so many wild stuff happened there, too. And even so recently, gang, actually, let me get to the video, because there's a whole another story that happened recently. Never mind.
Hey, this is kind of like a part 2 video. I mean, you don't have to have seen the part 1 video to understand what I talk about in this video. But I mean, if...
Yo, I remember seeing, gang, holy, I'm a yapper. I remember seeing on TikTok, it was just a guy making Subway sandwiches and well, what was the whole reason? I think he just enjoyed the job, even though he was getting paid good off of TikTok or something like that. Like, I think it was literally just him sharing his experience working at Subway. I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but yeah, I don't know why.
If you haven't watched part 1, you should. So I used to work at Subway, and to be honest, about 80% of the customers were fine. Sometimes they would do something that would just personally annoy me.
Well, okay, look. I be simple with my little Subway sandwiches. I get foot long, you know, and I get a foot long Italian urban cheese. For the meat, I get bacon, pepperoni. For the cheese, pepper jack. Now the condiments and all that, I get some lettuce, some jalapenos, banana peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes sometimes, some chipotle. That low-key be good. I feel like there's something else that I need to add to it to like perfect it. Like there's something missing there, you know? I don't know if it's meat or some sort of like side or something like that. Like, it's good though. That's what I be getting. I don't know what you guys be getting. Like, I know some people don't be getting much because they don't like vegetables or something. Some people be getting everything because they like vegetables and all of it. Like, some people just want meat in their mouth. Some people just want vegetables in their mouth. So it's like, I don't know.
Like, ask for a meatball on flatbread. So don't feel too bad for me. Like, sometimes people would ask me, can I have a turkey with lettuce, tomatoes? Whoa, slow down. What kind of bread? Footlong or 6-inch? What kind of cheese? Is it toasted? Then we'll talk about vegetables. And every time someone brought in a list, there would always be something missing on it. Always. I never had some...
Yo, oh no, bro, I used to do that. Except I never got it wrong. Like, cause I would go for my dad, cause he'd always take it to work. Right, he'd always take it to work, and I remember at first I'd have it written down what he wanted, and then over time I memorized it. But the good old days.
Someone come in with a complete list. I would ask someone, what kind of cheese? And they would say, they didn't specify. Well then, if they didn't care enough to remember cheese, I guess they'll get Swiss. If anyone watching is currently working at a Subway, then feel free to use these tricks. If someone asked me,
what kind of cheese do you recommend?
I would always say provolone, because it's the easiest cheese to pull apart with gloves on. Really, if anyone asked me what I recommended, I would just tell them the easiest thing for me to do. But even after I gave my insightful provolone cheese recommendation, sometimes people would still say,
I'll take American.
Why do you even ask me what cheese?
No, low key. It's probably because they don't like it or something like that. Cause I don't know, when I ask someone for something like what do you recommend, I usually end up getting it. Like let's say for example boba. I like boba. I enjoy boba. You know, boba and vet. Never mind. But essentially, it's like, you know, if I want to try something different, because I usually get, it's called the I got two, the Hokkaido pearl milk tea or something like that, and one's like the Okinawa milk tea, something like that. If I'm feeling a bit frisky, I'll be like, yo, what do you recommend to the person, and I'll just get that. And they've been good. They've been good. I remember one was like at a different spot. It was called like a Royal some. That was fire. That was fire. They really put me on, and I haven't gone back since. But I do need to try it again. Like if I personally ask for a recommendation and they give me one, I'm trying it. Like that. Why would I even ask? Regardless, like if I'm not gonna get it.
I would recommend if you're not going to take it seriously. Another
Yeah.
thing that would annoy me is when people would say the sandwich was all done, but they didn't put any sauce on it. So I would ask, any sauce? And then they would be like, oh yeah, mayonnaise. Oh, why did you tell me it was all done if it wasn't? Also, the receipt machine at the store took like 7 seconds to print out the receipt. So it would
Yo, no, that'd be a pet peeve of mine. That low-key be a pet peeve of mine when I'm ringing and the printing, the receipt printing thing doesn't print or it's slow. There's sometimes the machine would take 2 minutes. I'm like, gang, what is this? Or there was a time in specific where it was like, you know, this was when I was working in the fast food restaurant. The food would be ready by the time the thing would print. So I'm like, gang, do you even want your receipt? Yeah, you know, 9 times out of 10 it'd be no, but that one time it'd be yes. It'd be like, gang, I'd have to wait because sometimes the machine be bugging, and yeah, honestly.
be very awkward every time I would ask people, do you want your receipt? And then they would say yes, and then we would just stare at each other until the receipt printed. So what I did every time someone swiped their credit card, I would just stare off into space, and in my head I would count to 5. And then I would ask, do you want your receipt? And by the time they said yes, it was like magic. As soon as they said yes, the receipt printed.
That's the method. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good method. It's too late for that now. That's way too late for it now. I'm not gonna lie.
At Subway, you only work with one other person. So if someone got annoyed and said, let me talk to your manager, I would just look at them and go, listen, I've been here the longest. The only other person in this store is a 16-year-old girl, and she technically isn't old enough to use a toaster, so I'm probably your best bet. I'm the manager. Like, do people think the manager will automatically take their side and give them free stuff? Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. And that saying, well, how's the saying go? The customer's always right. Like, no, sometimes you aren't. No, get out your ego, gang. No, but like sometimes it'd be on the other person too. Like, sure, they could be in their ego. You could also be in their ego. The manager or something. They can just egos colliding, and it's like hard-headed people having arguments, and you know how that goes. But other times it's like, yo, in all reality, it's not that deep. You know, some people do just want their food, you know, how they want it. I respect it. You know, because it's like I hate pickles, so it's like if there's some pickles on my burger, you know, I would be upset, but I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. That's the thing. It's like, just take it out. That's one thing. Pause, but just take it out. You know. Sure, it might have been their mistake or something, but it's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. But it was I don't even know what I was about to say. That's how bad, like, I don't know, my mouth be running.
Actually, they do think that because it happens all the time. I would consider myself a pretty laid-back Subway employee. I didn't like to be stingy with people, even though I was disobeying the Subway formula on purpose. Oh, you want more than 6 olives on your footlong? Pfft, sure. Here, have a 5th slice of cheese. $1.50 for avocado. Pfft, I'll charge you.
No, real ones who put, yo, there's this guy, when I was like a lot young, because I used to always go to Subway as a kid, right? I used to always go to Subway as a kid because it was nearby, and we'd visit nearby where my grandma lived. We'd always visit, and those times when the workers there would put like extra bacon or something like that, they're real ones. They're real ones. You know, I wish them nothing but peace, love, positivity, growth, happiness, everything. You know, they held a young one down, me and my brother. Like, oh, bro. Much love to them.
75 cents, buddy. I probably shouldn't be saying these things, in case this whole YouTube thing flops and I need a job. So I wasn't really strict on the rules. Those fast food workers who are strict? No, we won't serve breakfast at 10:02. Get out. But being pretty laid back still didn't stop people from being
No. I was on the fence about it because it's like if we had it, cool, It's closing that be getting me a little annoyed, like, gang. Because if you wait in line, after the time hits and it's like there's people waiting on their food, it's like, gang, we're closed. Like, I shouldn't be taking your order. We have everything off, probably most likely by that time. And then they get upset. It's like, gang, I can't. We're closed. You should have came in a bit sooner. Do your research. But at the same time, I be understanding. Like, as much as sometimes I wish, I could give them the food, sometimes I can't. Like, stuff is off and all of that. But that's the thing. That's where I have the most mixed emotions on closing. It's like sometimes, we can, let's say fast food, right? You necessarily can't keep people waiting in line like past, because it's like you got to turn things off. People want to go home. Like other places, it's like let's say like the mall, for example. It's like we can have people in there a bit after because it's like, no worries. We're a bit more lenient because we don't have to necessarily turn anything off. We just got to close the registers and things like that. So it's like, that's not as bad. And gang, let me stop talking, I'm gonna be honest.
So this one person comes in and asks for 2 foot-long pastrami sandwiches. And pastrami is our most expensive sandwich. It's about $10 for a foot-long. And guys, the pastrami is super good, but I wouldn't pay for it. I mean, it's good, yeah, but I'm not paying $10 for a foot-long. It's not worth it. So this guy, I make his 2 sandwiches, I ring him up and I say, that'll be $20. And I guess he didn't look at the price of the sandwich on the menu, or he thought we still did the $5 foot-longs, because he said to me, I ain't paying for that. And this is when I was just starting out. I only had like a week of experience. And after he said that, I responded, well, shoot, I guess you're not paying for it. I didn't know people could do that. Hey, I want this. All right, that's $20. Nah, you don't want it? No, I want it. I'm just not paying for it. Okay, no, but actually, we did come up with a compromise. He told me that he had $12, so he ended up paying for one of the sandwiches, and I got to eat the other one. So it all worked out. This one time I was making a sandwich for a guy with a very heavy accent, and he asks for onions on the side. No big deal. We at Suabwe put vegetables in little cups all the time. I actually got a soup cup because the on the side cups are teeny tiny, and I start doing my thing, but then he says, no, on the side. And I think, oh, he's getting a foot long. He probably wants onions on half of it, but not the other. So I start putting onions on half the sub, but then again he says, no, on the side. At this point, I don't know what this guy wants. So I ask him, on the side of what? And then he screams, onions! And I never figured out what he was trying to say. This one old gentleman asks for sauce to be put on his vegetables, and normally we put it on top of the sandwich with the meat. And I didn't know if I heard him correctly because I put the sauce on and then I closed the sandwich. So your sauce would have been in the same place either way. One time, this woman tipped me and Corey $40. She wasn't annoying, I just want to sprinkle in some good customer stories. Okay, one time this Native American person came...
About the accents, though. It'd be interesting, because it's like, yo, where are you from, right? But sometimes it'd be hard. Or like when they don't necessarily speak English all too well. Because I remember there was a point in time where we'd get tour buses. And I'm mostly sticking these to the fast food experience, right? And they'd come from like Asia, like different parts of Asia, and sometimes they wouldn't speak English or something like that, or it was like things were different, or that was a bit hard. Because sometimes they didn't speak English and they tried, or they spoke very minimal about like amounts of English, and they try ordering it, and it's like you know how it goes. You try making sure they get what they want.
And I don't know if mentioning that was important to the story. He comes in and asks for 5 foot-long tunas. Okay, Tyler, just me and you. Let's
Yo, no. Speaking of, okay, 5. I don't know if that's a lot or a little. I remember there was this. I feel like that's a lot though. One session, I remember there was this time where someone got like 40 hamburgers, 40 chicken sandwiches. Gang, that was crazy. And I'm glad they told us ahead of time. They told us a whole day before because it was like some sort of party or a bus or something like that. Gang, 80 sandwiches total is crazy. I'm glad they didn't get no fries. Did they? I don't remember. But that was crazy. That was crazy. And I'm so glad he told us ahead of time, because if not, gang, we would have been stuck there for a while. I remember we started making it like 10-15 minutes before, started getting all the stuff ready. And I'd probably say even 20 possibly, because it was like, I have a feeling it was actually a lot more, not 80. But I think there was a time where it was 80, but they were like the bigger ones, and like 200 of like the small ones at different time. Like, that was wild. That was wild, I'm not gonna lie.
Do this. And then when we're all finished, we ring him up and we say, anything else? And he says, 7 meatballs. What? He wanted 7 more sandwiches. But James, you're Suabwe. You're supposed to make people sandwiches regardless of how many they ask for. Yeah, I know, but the guy could have handled it differently. Normally for a platter, you have to call in at least an hour ahead, and that's only 5 foot longs. This guy could have called ahead and said, hey, I'm getting 12 sandwiches, so just prepare yourselves. Mentally. I mean, we had so many customers waiting in line. No, we didn't. That's a lie.
That's
it was
the worst
only him.
too.
But still, this one woman, I was making her sandwich, and for vegetables, she asked for extra lettuce. So I put on a big handful, but then she asks for more. So I put more on, and sprinkle some on, more! I won't be able to close the sandwich with any more lettuce. And she says, that's fine. All right, extra lettuce it is. So I ended up giving her an open sandwich with a mountain of lettuce.
What?
You know we do salads, right? When I was little, I always thought if I was working at a store and someone tried to rob me, I wouldn't give them any money. But now it's like, psh, I ain't risking my life for Suabwe. Here, take the cash register. So
Right.
Thankfully, I've never had anyone pull a gun on me, but I have caught people stealing from us. I was making someone's sandwich, and this one kid asks for just a water cup, so I gave it to him. So I go back to making a sandwich, and I just hear the fuzzy soda sounds being dispensed. And I look over, and the kid is putting soda in the cup. He didn't even try to hide it. When I put soda in a water cup, I at least wait for the employees to go in the back, but I didn't even say anything. I was just like, all right, man. This guy,
Darren Assert's dominance is crazy. He let it happen? That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I would have body slammed. Nah, I'm joking. That's wild though. Out in the open is crazy. At the very minimum, you like hide it, right? Or like you get Sprite or something, right? That's wild. Ah. Yo.
totally saw him take a bag of chips, and he hid it under the counter so I couldn't see. So when I rang up his sandwich, I asked, anything else? And he said, nope. All right, whatever. Okay, last story. I was in the back and I was playing some Clash of
Bruh, I feel like at some point you just don't be caring no more. Like, that's funny. That's funny.
Clans, and we have a computer that shows what the cameras see, and I see this woman who was eating there. She reached over the counter and took 3 large cups, and I did nothing to stop it. You know, I'm the kind of person that's like, the fast food employee is always right. Say if I was eating somewhere and I asked for a chicken salad and they said, we only have tuna salad.
And you're like, all right, let me just get that, or you get something else that they have. Honestly, but end of the video, good video, amazing video by The Odd Ones Out. See ya.